Well, mate, a lot of talk about your Jamo. Willie Awani, it seems as though he will in one particular form, whether it's VFL or AFL. Can you steer us in the right direction as to what you might be thinking?
I watched him train today and he did everything according to plan. I suppose it depends how he pulls up and things like that. You know, I suppose it's a risk that we'll have to take. When are we going to take it? Do we want to take it? I think it'll be up to match committee tomorrow.
Yeah, obviously, I think you mentioned in the past that some players have a natural fitness that they're able to keep going, and he's been out for 2 months.
Yeah.
And would obviously... I don't know whether it's Buddy or Hale or whoever, but he's been out for 2 months. Is he one of those players that has a bit of natural fitness, or does he need to run in his things?
No, he's usually come to hand pretty quickly. I suppose with the sub rule and, you know, can we strategically do it? But then I suppose you've got an issue if someone else gets an injury. So from that point of view, we'll sort of have to wait and see and weigh up all the pros and cons. But, you know, I'd love to get him back in ASAP. It's a big game. We want to get him ready for finals, so do we take the risk and put him in now? We'll have to wait and see.
The way he seems more clear cut, I don't know if this is the general feeling is correct, but he'll play VFL this week, if anything.
Yeah, he pulled up a little bit sore from the weekend, so he didn't do a lot today. He'll run tomorrow. He's very unlikely to play this week. Yeah.
Either form? Or just
yeah, no, either form. Yep.
So is that going to set him back even further, or is it just a slight thing?
I'm not sure. It's been one of those things that we've monitored from session to session, how he pulls up, and if everything's going well, we push further ahead with the program. But he just got a little bit sore, so we just pulled up today and gave him a day off and rested him, so he'll run tomorrow, do everything, and we'll see what happens from there.
It's the same area?
Yeah.
Just while we're on these guys, Jordan Russell, I know he's fit again now, but it's just a matter of him pushing for a spot.
Yeah, he played pretty well on the weekend. 24 possessions and some really good defensive work and run and dash, so that was good. Lucas was in the same boat. McLean went back and had 30 odd, so you know, that's brilliant from his point of view. Bauer had the ball a fair bit. Satana kicked 2-7, I think. So he got his shots at goal. So yeah, he's one that will come into calculations. Hampson will play this week at VFL level, so that's good for us as well.
So the planets are aligning for you, aren't they? Apart from obviously Jared a little week ago, the planets are aligning for you, aren't they, in terms of getting everyone fit?
Yeah, it's I suppose the time and how quickly they come back, and we even see with Carrazzo last week, he just looked a bit rusty, and we wanted to always look after him. So, you know, it was hot over there to take him off. So that worked to plan. But yeah, it's just how they come back and how they, I suppose, respond in the game.
How's Thornton?
Yeah, he's fine. It was only a blood vessel, so we actually gave him a bit of a ribbing today, just with the black eye. Should he play with the black eye, or are you in doubt? And he chuckled. So no, he'll be fine.
It's been a long time since you played Hawthorn.
Yeah.
When was it? I can't remember, but more than a year ago.
Yeah, it was round 9 last year. And then before that, I suppose it was usually one of the later games, which it is this year. So yeah, we haven't played them a lot. We don't usually play them twice in a year. So yeah, it'll be a good test for us. They're in great form. They've had to change the way they play a little bit because of the personnel, and losing a few of the taller types in their teams. They've had to put players back and do some different things, but they're in great form.
And it's just one of those real big ones, isn't it? I mean, it goes beyond, I guess, the situation. It's sort of 3v4
Yep.
near in the finals. You guys are really starting to come back into really good, consistent form after a few barren years.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those ones that I suppose one team will get a lot of confidence out of it, and and then I suppose from there, do you face each other again in finals? Those types of questions would come down the track, but it'd be just a real confidence boost for one of the teams to get the 4 points.
Is your form against them the last few times you've played them irrelevant because of the big gap and their changing game plan there at Hawthorn?
I think it's different scenarios for every time you've played them. Sometimes we weren't at the stage that we were. They were in premiership mode. Last time we played them, I think we lost 2 players before quarter time. So how do you rate that? In the scheme of things. So from that point of view, I think it's let's look at right here, right now. It'll be a great game. They're in great form. Buddy kicking 8, Cyril 6. They're defending unbelievable. So it'll be a great challenge.
How do you even try to plan with players like Buddy and Cyril that are in such rare form like they were on the weekend?
Probably the way they'll plan for Betts, Scarlett, Walker, and those types. Yeah. have some think time and go through that. Yeah.
On paper, you'd think Henderson would get him. Is that the logical matchup first up?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say that would be the way the matchup would go. Yeah, it'll be interesting whether we use two on Buddy, whether we just use the one. Yeah, the discussions that we'll have to go through.
Can it be a liberating thing for the players, given how we played them for quite a while, that they'll be coming up against maybe some players for the first time? Like, you know, they haven't got bad form against them in the past, they can just go out there and...
Yeah, as I was saying before, I think the circumstances of when we played them's you know, been a little bit different, and where the two teams were at. So yeah, I think this is just two hard teams that are going to have a real crack, and with the finals just around the corner, they could really set the scene and maybe even jump in confidence and momentum going forward. So I don't think you know, I can't remember all our players and who played. You know, Daigan and Laidler and these types haven't played against them, so they won't be worried, but they'll be concerned on what they've seen off the tape and how they've watched games of footy and things like that, but I don't think they'll be worried too much.
Are you going to treat it like a final, Brett, or are you just going to treat it like another week, especially considering the implications at stake here that you're both very tight, that sort of position?
No, it's just another home and away game, another chance for us to rehearse what we want to get out of the game and plan for finals, and that's what we always said. It was we get 22 chances to rehearse and get our preparation right for finals, and finals are still another, you know, three weeks away or whatever, 4 weeks away. So we just get another chance to rehearse again against a very, very good team.
You don't see that you've got a bit more at stake, a bit more to lose, or a bit more to gain, in that you can keep West Coast at bay should you win and probably secure the top 4 position? Whereas they sort of 6 points ahead of you, or 2 points ahead of you?
West Coast are 2 points below us.
Hawthorn are
yeah.
above you. So.
Yeah, so we can just really concentrate on our form. It's not worried about, you know, where's West Coast and where's Hawthorn and what we have to do. It's actually, let's get our form right, so when we get the opportunity in finals, we make sure we tick the boxes. We've got, you know, 2 really hard, you know, uncompromising teams going in towards the finals where we get 2 chances to rehearse, and, you know, having Hawthorn this week and having the bye and then St Kilda will be just great preparation for us going forward.
Not the sense though that you've got the double chance.
We can't control it though.
Yeah. Well, you can if you're not supposed to.
And then we might not. So we're just going to keep trying to win, and if it falls our way, it falls our way, and if it doesn't, we face who we face and we'll deal with that. Yep.
A lot of fresh talk today about player abuse and on-field spoilers, that kind of thing. Should players' mums be out of bounds with that kind of interplay? The only one that I heard was the supporters one that was at Milne. So what's the other story? AFL's going to sanction Paddy McGinty for apparently slagging off Pettard's mum on Sunday. So I don't expect to know exactly about that case, but is that kind of thing acceptable?
I think there probably has to be some boundaries drawn, and it's great for the AFL to have a look, and maybe it might be something that's brought in and part of the education through the AFLPA when they do through the pre-season about what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. And you know, I think it's a good step forward, you know, because these are the things in society we don't want to see that go down into local footy, and you know, let's see if we can stamp that out of the game.
Did you have a particular sledge on field that was fair game, Brett?
Well, I did comment about my big ears when I was a player, so I sort of lived with that one, and it sort of didn't really have a lot of effect, to be honest. Yeah, but I've learned to live with it and push on, so yeah. I thought that was fair game at me anyway.
Cheers,
That was. Is that on camera?